Hello, everyone, and welcome back to part two of Create Expectations. If you have not watched part one, you can watch it on Zaris' channel and get all of the news, because I guess there was news, sort of.
We got carpal tunnel.
Yeah, we all got carpal tunnel, so
It's a consequence of having played this game for
yep,
8 years. We all
can't
have carpal tunnel now.
can't escape it. But you can watch part one and like and subscribe and leave a comment and do all the fun things, and then come back here for more fun and dessert.
It's adequate fun.
Is there such a thing as like adequate fun? Like, is it fun if it's just adequate?
Yeah, I like that kind of. Today I was trying to decide. I think I said the phrase. It's crazy drearified outside or something like that. Like it's so dreary, it's crazy. And I was
Hmm.
like, can it actually be crazy if it's dreary? I'm not sure.
Can it be fun if it's adequate? Probably not.
Sufficient.
Oh, sad. Okay, so we have quite a few viewer questions, and I want to try to get to most of them and not have to save too many for
Right.
next week.
Well, choose the best ones, is what you're saying.
Don't don't say that. And then we can go in the game and do all the fun things in game. Um, so first question from
Right.
Fat but
I'm just saying if we have to go with the boring ones too, it will be sufficient fun. It'll be okay.
it'll be okay. It'll be tolerable. All
Tolerable,
right.
I suppose. All right,
So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Fat Fat Butcher 1975 is asking advice for the best way to get back into the game after an extended break, as in 6 months or more.
Well, you're clearly the expert on this. So,
When
what
did
do you
I
think?
take an extended break?
I don't know. I'm just like the guy last week called you an expert. I just thought you were the expert on all the things. I thought that's got momentum. All right.
I feel like if you're getting back into the game, you would want to see which characters or teams are the most important in the game right now that you would need to chase that you don't currently have.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, because you're going to have to pick and choose what you're chasing after, and you're going to want to go after what's going to have the most impact right away.
So basically, just watch my YouTube channel. We're good.
Sure.
And watch yours to learn how to conquest well. I do think that that's maybe the number one thing for a newer player, or not a newer player,
Conquest.
a getting back into it player, because probably you have over 4 million GP. It would be my guess. I mean,
Right.
I don't know. I don't mean to presume, but typically I would say like 4 million is pretty approachable for someone who has played previously. And if
Hmm.
you're doing that, if you focus on doing your conquest and making sure that's that, like, to me the conquest characters are have all been so relevant and good,
Hmm.
and finding a way to incorporate them into what you're doing, like it's just a free bonus legendary character level farm
Hmm.
that, like, they're better than a lot of legendaries. Like I know you love BB-8 and
I
you,
do.
but like BB-8's not that good, really. Like honestly, even at Relic 9, like, you have him. He's like, I would take, he has his niche,
Hmm.
and I would take Malicos over him every time. You know?
Um, just not gonna touch that one, but I will agree with
That's what
you.
she said.
uh, Perfect. I will agree with you. I think it's very important to go after conquest and one, get the characters that you might be missing from there. But two, also make sure you're not falling behind in it either because you just don't want to have to play catch up.
Right. No, and that if you can't do it, honestly, so one of the things that I've found is a lot of people want to do conquest, that they're like, okay, I'm just not going to do it. I hate it. Not
Hmm.
just not going to do it at all. Not going to get the characters. And it's so relatively easy to get crate 5 for a lot of accounts.
Totally.
You can get crate 5. I've been doing it since I was in the 4 millions on
Hmm.
my little account, and now I'm in the 7 millions. It's a lot easier. Like I could if I want, if I, and I'm a great example. I could probably get crate 6 if I wanted to, but I'm still getting crate 5. And as long as you're on the crate 5 plan, it'll take you 6 months instead of 3 months, but you'll
Hmm.
get that character unlocked and without having to deal with the nonsense of proving grounds.
This is a really good point because I remember when you and I were talking about you picking up Prevail Man again, and like that account was on a break for almost a year,
Hmm.
give or take. And one of the things that we talked about and we're trying to figure out was where do you need to get to in Conquest to make it so that you are getting the character before they're out of the crates. So if you're gonna go for
Oh,
the full 6 month Conquest run, how 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 far do you need to go? And getting to crate 5 gets you there.
it does. Yeah, even if you don't, I like to buy the pack again because I'm lazy and it's the best $10 that you can spend in the game, in my opinion.
Mhm.
But and it kind of makes up for a little bit. Like you get the bonus loot, and it kind of makes up for my negligence of like I log in like once a day, and that's it. You know, like I don't climb in fleet. I don't do like there's a ton of, and I'm like, well, buying those $10, it's almost the same as like me logging in more often. And but anyways, even if you don't go that way, as long as you're spending your conquest currency on the characters
Hmm.
on the nodes as you go along, then yeah, you crate 5. That's all you need.
Right.
It's very achievable for almost every account. So yeah, and I don't have good mods on that account. It's all just I think conquest, that focus, and then really, I mean, and I said that facetiously of like just watch my channel, but seriously, like watching content creators talk about like what's good and what's relevant right now, and
Hmm.
trying to parse like okay, what's worth waiting for the accelerated farms, and what's worth just going for right now,
Right.
because I mean, I feel like I get these comments sometimes of people saying like, how did, I mean, people say this all the time. How does Prevail Man have all this good stuff
Right.
if you're not spending money on the account? And I'm like, how does he have all the latest stuff? And I don't have all the latest stuff, but I have a lot of current stuff. And it's like, well, because I do my conquest, and I'm actually focusing on farms that I should be farming. Like, I that was one of the big uproars I had on. Well, maybe, uproar is way too grand for it, but like, I had a few people like questioning me on one of my streams. They're like, "Why is Prevail Man gonna unlock Jedi Cal when he's coming up?"
Right.
You know, like what business does he have work? I'm like, because he's a transcendent, amazing, transformative Jedi that's
Right.
going to make your account way better, and it's going to help your guild too to get more GT too. Like I don't know what to say. Like you can't say it enough, but some accelerated farms should not be wait like you shouldn't wait for some accelerated farms to become
Right.
accelerated. Like
Like
just go for it.
you could probably wait for Afra.
Yeah, exactly. Or Tuscans.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah. Okay. Solohan, who do you think is going to have the raid Omicron for the Naboo raid?
Hmm. What did they already talk about Jar Jar's
They haven't. I don't think it's going to be him.
Omicrons? I thought.
I don't think it's going to be him. I don't think it's going to be him, and I don't think it's going to be Amidala. I think it's going to be either one of the new Gungans or one of her new uh sidekicks.
One of the peasants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because uh Jar Jar and Amidala will probably have 3 Omicrons each.
probably.
So I can't see it being them.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Yeah, my guess is that the gun team will have uh, a raid Omicron. Yeah, it'll probably just be one of the peasant Gungans.
I think it will be one of the Gungans because they seem to be like yes, we know we can use Amidala in the new raid, but they seem to be wanting to really focus on Jar Jar and the Gungans. Like those are going to be the ones that you want. So
I,
makes sense to put the Omicron there.
I mean, I guess we're all just assuming that it's going to be a 5-man raid.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
right now we have a 3-man raid, so they really could just go.
Maybe it'll be 7.
What's the next question?
Okay. Dullinge is asking, do you think 100 crystal refreshes for mod energy are a good idea? I've been pushing hard to improve my mods the last few months, and I do both the 50s and 100 refreshes to do that. Wondering if you think those 300 extra crystals are the best way to invest in mods, or is there somewhere better? Edited to add, gets #1 in Fleet Arena Daily, Kyber 2 in GAC, and is planning to at least continue doing the 50s, but curious if those 100s should go there or be invested elsewhere. I feel like you're the expert on this one, and I'm just going to defer to you.
I am the expert. No, I'm not. I'm not as much of a modding expert as I used to pay a lot more attention. I mean, I still do pay attention. I really do, but I used to be way more into it. I don't know what the math guys would say in terms of like doing those refreshes. I almost think that doing that many, it depends on where you are in your account, how much you're in Kyber 2, so you're making a pretty decent daily income. I, yeah, it's not the worst thing. I think the big thing is that's it's a lot of investment, man.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say to do it for a really sustained long time. Like maybe like choose like say, all right, I'm gonna do 6 refreshes on mods for the next 6 months, and then go back down to the 3 refreshes. I don't know what the math guys would say. That it's a lot of, it's already like of almost not exactly questionable value to do the 3 refreshes. Like I still do it most of the time. But if I need to skip one, that's typically what I'll do because the game has really moved toward, you want good mods, but the mechanics are also really important. And I would tend to say for the majority of players, it is not worth
Yeah.
it.
It seems like a lot.
I think being diligent on your store, the mod store,
Mm-hmm.
buying things there, and you know, and like I said, I don't know what the math guys would say. My guess is that it would be cheaper to do those refreshes on the assault battle that gives you a bunch of health mods.
Right.
That I think that's probably a better use of your crystals, frankly.
Right. Okay. That's fair.
Like 300 extra crystals daily to get an an unpromised value
Mm-hmm.
back. Like even if you do roll speed, you're like, oh, +4 speed. Was that worth 300 crystals? I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah, because that assault battle one is really amazing to refresh.
Yeah. So I would probably not, frankly, for the majority of people. If you're super into mods, really want to catch up, that might be worthwhile. If you're a spender, probably more worthwhile. You know.
All right. Um,
If you're Sarah, don't even do refreshes.
it's accurate.
Or Professor X or Prevail Man for that matter.
Sometimes I'll do it if there's like double drops, if there's
Yeah.
something happening. But
Yeah, there's double drops, sure.
yeah. Okay, so we have two more questions, which I think we have time for.
Whoa.
I know.
We even have time for the bad ones. Good.
Hey, you called them bad. These are the GAC ones.
No wonder you waited till last.
Okay, Oseg is asking, so they recently tuned the GAC math. Um, are you noticing the change? Follow-up question, do you think that it needs more retuning? I'm assuming this means for like the squishioning.
um, they need to fix the bug with that launching Erodium players, hapless
Right,
Erodium players into Kyber 1.
right.
Um, I think it's more hilarious than anything because at the very top of Kyber 1, you have like this really funny little commune of just like really pathetic, really pathetic accounts just battling to the death, and they're getting these top spots, and every once in a while one person is just getting dragged into the abyss of
And
like,
just plummeting.
and like they won't win another match for like 3 months,
Oh man.
but like everyone else is fine. It's like the that old time machine movie where like the humans just like slowly get fed to like they just like get
I
fed
said
to some creature.
I said this on H&N to Pico, and I feel a little bit bad, but also I'm just like because they're slowly getting dragged down into the abyss into Kyber 1, and I'm like, come on to Kyber 2.
Yeah, Kyber 2 is gonna feast as well. I had one of those guys in my group actually. I think it was last season.
I feel bad for them.
Well, I came really close to having to face one. I was like, you know what? That I wouldn't mind having the time off, but I don't I like I'm gonna stream this, and it's not an exciting stream.
Right. Yeah, that's yeah.
But yeah,
So,
I was one loss away from having to do that.
um, yeah. I have you noticed like a change in the other than the Erodium players obviously getting launched up? I haven't really noticed anything. So then again, we just ended a 3v3 season, so
I will say this: there's more people in Kyber One by a huge like there was I think last season there were 4,000 people in Kyber One, which at the height of the debacle
yeah.
of Squish, like the debacle of Squish sounds so dumb. The there were like 1,000, just a little over a
Yeah.
thousand people in Kyber One, which it used to be like 10,000. So
I was gonna
we're
say when they redid this and I was there, I was roughly around the 10,000 mark, and I didn't fall out of Kyber 1 right away. I stayed in Kyber 1 for a while.
Yeah, which, yeah, and then it just everyone started circling the drain,
Hmm.
and it's a really interesting thing because I was in the top 50 last week,
Hmm.
and then I lost 3 rounds, 3 matches in a row. One of them, I just to save face, I have to say I was drinking some and I made poor decisions, and I think I would have beat that guy. So I don't think I would have gone 0-3 typically, but I did go 0-3, and at the end of the day. At the end of it, I was I right at the start of this week, I was number 868.
That is
Like
a crazy change.
isn't it? It's a crazy amount,
Like
and you
that's
have to think,
aggressive.
yeah, yeah, it doesn't feel great. It's like we're battling against these super elite people, and now I'm not saying that the people who are top 1,000 aren't elite. Like game wise, they are actually fair. Like overall game wise, they are
Yeah.
fairly elite. They know what they're doing and stuff. But I'm like, this is crazy. I've never been this low in my whole life. So I don't know. I'm guessing the math wasn't bad. I'm guessing it's just a result of a ton more people are in Kyber. So dropping 3 rounds in a row was just that impactful.
Right. Yeah, and it's just I feel like it's gonna be a little crazy for the next little bit.
Yeah, I remember when I intentionally lost 1 round and I fell to like 400. I was like, this is awesome. I'm so excited. And now I'm in the top 800, the top 900, whatever. It's madness.
Okay, so last question from Numa. What are your thoughts on removing 3v3 entirely and replacing it by rotating light side only GAC, dark side only GAC, and mixed? Pros, it would force you to use your entire roster and foster creativity. Cons, it would weaken the mixed faction teams and their investment. Example, Starkiller
Or Jabba.
or Java. I will say, Numa, I really liked this question up until you wanted to replace 3v3 with another variation of GAC. I really liked the idea of removing 3v3 entirely. And yeah. I don't know if we could do like a light side dark side mixed rotation.
I would hate light side, dark side. I think that's so limiting, man. You're like, oh, I'm so excited. I get to use this new awesome conquest character that I just unlocked finally.
Hmm.
Oh, except I can't for a month in GAC.
Right.
because it's a dark side, and like the UFO team is
Would that
another one that we
would
can't
that
use.
would that bleed over to fleets?
Yeah, so you can't use Executor.
Right. Or like, yeah.
I mean, I think if we did that every once in a while, like once a year, it's like, hey, let's have 1 week where we're just only light side or something. If you want to sit out, then just sit out. That might be fun to just try something like that, but having it be a standard, having it be 1/3 of my GACs, like spending 4 months in the year doing just dark side
Mm-hmm.
against dark side, and it would mess with data. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, the data I was actually thinking about the Datacrons was like if they release a set that's only dark side, that would be brutal.
So here's my thing. I get why people hate 3v3, you know, and I don't share your reticence to engage in threes, but I understand the discomfort that causes people, the frustration.
Mm-hmm.
It's not nearly as unbalanced as people say it is, but that's more of just like I feel really uncomfortable with this and I don't want to do it and I don't like GAC in the first place. I think I understand where you're coming from. My issue with it is I think 3v3 adds an important respite from fives to make fives stop being like I think fives is exciting to play, but it's only exciting once I've had a break from it.
Right.
And I think that for a lot of people, people take threes as a chance to take a break all the way from GAC. They're just like, all right, I'm stepping back. I'm going to lose 9 matches.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're refreshed and they can go pummel people because they've plummeted in the standings and they can just pummel people in fives. And they're just excited about it. And
Right.
I think we need a break from fives or fives. I think people would just start hating GC completely if threes wasn't
Was
there to
gone.
kind of yeah. I could they spice things up. I think people would like the like GAC in general a lot more if they just made new maps too.
I think that too. I think if they just like changed how the map was set up and stuff like that, because right now it's just like you were saying, you didn't even use Jedi Master Luke last round.
Yeah, GAC is I know at the all eyes are on Territory Wars to get a revamp.
Mm-hmm.
GAC is suddenly like right there next to TW. I feel
Yeah.
like I think GAC needs some kind of a boost really soon.
Yeah.
And we've been on the same board. It's just the dumbest thing. You look on the forums and they're still doing, hey, what mode is this? It's 5v5 plus ships. Like they still add the plus ships, even though
Mm-hmm.
it's been however many years that it's just by default ships. Like what would you do if you logged in one day and you were like or like you beat the top zone. You're like, all
Yeah.
right, go into shit. Oh, there are squads here.
They're squads.
Like, what would you like? What?
I would be
That
like,
would be so
see,
wild.
I didn't need the 7-star Leviathan.
You already are like, jeez. I feel like that like you're just flaunting that at this point.
8 more months.
8 more months.
Yeah, I need eight more events, and I'll have him 7-star.
You know, it's gonna be funny. One day I'm gonna log in for you and just do all of them and spend all your crystals. Get him 7-star. And you won't even notice. You'll be like, where are all my crystals? But
Yeah,
you want, but if you didn't notice the crystals were gone, you wouldn't notice that you had a 7-star Leviathan. You'd just be like, what?
I would notice the crystals are gone.
You might.
Okay. So we don't like that idea. Noted. Shall we go in game?
Sure.
We can look at let's do the pack first, because I feel like that is more fun. Maybe. Maybe. So there isn't anything like crazy new. What is up with these Jawa scavenger deals? These are terrible. Um,
Are they?
yeah, look, like 3,200 crystals for 60 Mark III carbs. Are you kidding me?
Do you need Carbanti?
No, this is a Anyway, that's not the pack I wanted to look at. Um, there isn't anything that's like crazy new, but I thought it would be good to review the marquee packs, given the fact that they- they've restructured the marquee event, at least for the Gungans. So, obviously you have your like crystal lottery pack, that's fine. And then your standard marquee pack that gets you the 30 shards and the 5 Omicrons, etc. So this is Canadian. Again, it's $40. It's $30 American.
Oh, you're
So
down to 609 million credits. Sorry.
you're just looking at my stash?
Do you have a like your crystal stash or your
My crystal
credit?
stash? You're trying to see?
I was like, did you grow a mustache? I was like, what? I would if you had one, I would be looking at it.
Oh man.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Or I would be avoiding eye contact.
one or the other.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, this is $30
mhm.
American.
So you get the 30 character shards. So right now with the marquee, you do tier 1. It lets you unlock the character and get them to 3 stars. And then you can do tier 2, which gets you an additional 20, 15 or 20 shards.
Something like that.
Something like that. I honestly can't remember because we get the 5 stars or the 5 shards in the web store as well. But then if you buy the pack or buy 2 gamble packs, like you were saying earlier, that not necessarily 2, you just need to get the 10 shards to get
Right.
to 4 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get the 3rd tier unlocked, which you can play every day. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
can play tier 2 as well, but the 3rd tier is where you start getting the shards every single day. Because we're doing that,
Well, and once you get 5 stars, you also get 2 more Omicrons in the marquee event.
once you hit 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
So that is enticing.
I mean, it is. It's the new release. If all you like, if you're a spender and all you have to do is spend $30 plus a couple gamble packs, which you may already have the crystals for,
Yeah.
and then maybe like one more gamble pack. I don't really know, but then you eventually get to 5 stars. You get those extra Omicrons. It's
Mhm.
not you get 7 Omicrons. Omicrons are still so necessary for this game. You just need them. It's still a huge crunch.
I think honestly, if, like, yes, I'm not disagreeing with that. But for me, like, just looking at getting the character shards every day, just getting the additional character shards every day is worth it, in my opinion. Whether you buy the marquee pack or the gamble pack.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're a spender, this is actually a fairly good deal. While the guns are still a faction that we're marquee farming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Um, so I did not buy like the $30 pack last event for Boss Nass. I just did the 2 gamble packs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2,600 crystals, give minus 2 crystals, whatever. Um,
Whatever that might be.
whatever that is.
I'm
Um,
surprised you didn't say -1, -1.
I mean, I should have. Um,
You're
so
making progress here.
anyway, I pulled a 7 on both of them, so I got 14 shards.
Yes.
And then I know. You get the 5 from the web store, you do the whole thing. I ended the event at 49 out of 65 shards, which is a huge improvement from where you typically end a marquee event, right? Like you typically end at 0 out of 30.
Yeah.
So we're talking 79 extra shards for 2,600 crystals.
Not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
Yeah.
I guess you can't really say 79. Let's call it 59 because you get the 20 from them. And you only needed the 10 to get to the. So I'll give them that. We'll say it was 59 for 2,600
People
crystals.
people are
But
gonna be disappointed that you didn't say 69. You just skipped it.
uh what was I saying?
I'm sorry, me taking my shirt off is It tends to distract people.
The 2,600 crystals normally for 16 shards, you were spending 1,280 crystals in the store. Is that correct?
I stopped paying attention, so maybe.
Oh man. And my point is the math checks out according to my lack of math knowledge. 2,600 minus 1 minus 1. It works out.
Lack of math knowledge checks out.
Yeah. So I
Minus
don't
one, minus one.
I feel like these are even more enticing. I honestly kind of hope they keep this marquee structure.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool. I like that they've done. I know that it's an old discussion at this point, but I like that they've changed the ship stuff too to be a chase instead of a marquee, and they make it so that if you just happen to have 4,000 crystals banked, you can just get a 7-star ship right away. You don't have to worry about farming the non-accelerated farm
That never ever goes accelerated.
that will never go accelerated.
Yep. Okay, so that's the pack. I just thought it was a good refresher considering that they've restructured.
Right. I like that it used to be a fresher and now it's a refresher.
Right.
Yeah.
Shoveled.
Shoveled.
Okay, so let's review a character and then we'll do a roster roast and we'll get out of here before the 1 hour mark, maybe.
I can't wait to be whelmed by the roster.
Okay. So I thought, because we haven't actually reviewed him, and I thought this would be a good one to do because probably you're gonna be able to use him in the raid, maybe. I don't know. Probably. But we're getting Amidala, and I'm sure maybe we'll get a new Qui-Gon. I don't think we will, but maybe he'll have relevance again. So I thought we could talk about Qui-Gon.
Yeah, I like that he has what he ends up being in his name.
Gone?
Yeah. The real question is, why is he gone?
Oh boy. Okay, so what do you think about Qui-Gon? I feel like he was basically just like, and then he got his Omicron and everyone just absolutely went crazy for him, and now he's back to being, I don't want to say he's bad. He's not bad, but he's not as hyped as he was before.
Well, I mean, it's hard to stay hyped for we've got
Totally.
I mean, we got a lot of new characters that have been released, and
he was one of the first Omicrons, so
one of the very first, yeah. And I remember people telling me all kinds of dirty names when I was like, I think the Zam Omicron is better, which it was back then. That one has continued. Like once Malgus came out, the Zam Omicron just stopped being nearly as worthwhile because you stopped being able to be faster consistently than Sith Empire. So that then you couldn't snipe out their leader. But Qui-Gon has kept a lot of its value, and we just got Kelleran back.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious to know what are your thoughts? Like, do you have his Omicron? It looks like how fast is yours?
I don't think he's that fast.
And did you mod him for offense at all?
245.
Oh my lord!
I know.
I ask these questions and it brings me pain.
I think I remodded Jedi Knight Anakin, and I was going to remod Qui-Gon, and then I was just like, another day.
Yeah. I mean, another day, like in 10 years, it is technically another day, so.
Right. And
100%.
You know what? He does his job.
What does he do?
He sits on defense.
Do you get holds with him?
Sometimes. I'm in Kyber 2. Sometimes I'm in Kyber 3.
Yeah, you're like, he gets holds.
I put a Datacron on him, and people are just like, what is happening?
Yeah. People are like, you think I'm going to attack that? You cheater. Like, using Datacrons.
I will say, I actually am excited to put Kelleran Beck with him.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it really hasn't moved the needle that much in my defensive holds, to be honest, but it's, Kelleran Beck is a fun twist on the Qui-Gon team as well, because it kind of fills that gap in territory wars, especially. And I know shouldn't let the guy just take over from our discussion on Qui-Gon, but it's fun because Qui-Gon has kind of occupied this space for a certain type of Jedi.
Right.
like Jedi Anakin, Ki-Adi-Mundi, maybe Mace, all that stuff. And and so Kelleran Beck has kind of opened up that same space for those same characters, just without Qui-Gon, because he's
Right.
gone.
Right. It's gone.
Territory Wars happens after Episode 1.
Poor Qui-Gon.
I know.
Um, I don't know. I just feel like he might. I don't think we'll get another Qui-Gon to go with Amidala, but I think we'll probably be using him in the raid.
Probably. I just, I've the way they worded it, I don't know if they're actually going to give us Junior Kenobi, but
Mhm.
I think a lot of people would welcome that. And honestly, I mean, Kenobi, that's something that'll sell as well, probably.
Totally.
Um, but I think we're just like one baby Kenobi away from a kind of a semi resurgence, because we already have Kelleran back to make this team better, just to get one more Galactic Republic Jedi that has some good synergy with Qui-Gon with his master. Like that seems pretty cool.
That's a good point. That would be fun.
I think it would be a lot of fun, man. So just a word to the wise on how to mod him in general. If you want to, well, so I don't mean any shade on you.
I know.
Genuinely, I don't care that much. I just, if you want to mod him for maximum effect, though,
Hmm.
so first off, you need him, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Anakin to be really fast. You want them to be faster than your opponent's Bad Batch Echo, because Bad Batch Echo will destroy your team if he's faster. Remember,
Hmm.
Ki-Adi-Mundi is going to give you plus 80 total speed, because his stance gives you 20, and then his Omicron gives him 30, and his Zeta gives his whole team 30.
Right.
Um, yeah, so the lead gives you 30, and then so Qui-Gon gets plus 60 speed, Anakin gets plus 60 speed, and so you want them all three of them if possible to be faster than your opponent's Bad Batch Echo, which is sometimes very challenging to do. I realize. Yeah, like my Bad Batch Echo is like 370 speed, so it
That's
can be a little
disgusting.
tricky. So the other thing you want to keep in mind for Qui-Gon though is the math on like how much he boosts his team once he dies, because that's his trigger. Is
Yeah.
once he dies, he gives them a ton of extra offense. It's not just based off of their offense; he's handing them offense, and it's based off of how much offense he has. So if
Yeah.
you give him, you can put speed mods on him and stuff. That's probably fine, but then offense on the primaries and stuff, because you want him to die in a lot of ways. So making him more squishy, it tends to be a good thing anyways.
Yeah. Right. Because you want them. You want him to die.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. 400% of his offense for 2 turns. That's a ton.
Yeah. Yeah. So like it in some ways, I mean the team is so old that it's not really worth it, but like if you gave him Relic 8 or something and
Hmm.
gave him some really strong offense mods, like it kind of helps.
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, Prevail Man runs him at gear 10 or 11. So,
Right.
and without Ki-Adi-Mundi, it's a mess. But I still kill stuff.
Because it still works.
Right. Well, and I will say this as well about Qui-Gon. He's still part of a lot of teams' ability to, like, you can counter a lot of stuff still, a lot of relevant stuff with
Hmm.
that team. Like, uh, you know, it'll kill in threes. It like for instance, you have the Rex Fives team. It'll kill that. Just a lot of stuff. Qui-Gon team still packs a huge wallop because Ki-Adi-Mundi just destroys people. It's funny.
He's so fun. People think he's so bad.
Yeah, he's fun, man. I like for a while his nickname was Qui-Gon Jim, and it's like, gym like you go to the gym and you have all
Yeah.
the muscles and stuff. Yeah,
Get jacked.
it's
Uh,
not Qui-Gon Jack. No,
no. Jim.
clearly. All
Do,
right, sorry.
do you want to roast a roster before we go?
I feel like I'm baby Kenobi in this way, and Padawan Kenobi saying like, why do I have a feeling we've picked up another pathetic life form?
Um, well, they did say they would like us to make fun of their lack of GLs.
So we're just like taking orders for how we're supposed to roast people now.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know. So, we're here. We've arrived.
Do you think that guild name is just like it's intentionally foreign sounding so that they could sneak in?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. So 10.6 million GP.
So we should make fun of Galactic Legends.
That's what they said.
Okay.
Let's look at ships before we look at Galactic Legends, though, because that's what we do.
It is what we do. We don't just look at them.
We talk about them?
We judge the F out of them for it.
Okay, but he's got all the capital ships.
So we're supposed to mock you for your lack of Galactic Legends, but you have all the Galactic Legend ships? Okay, that's cool, man. He's just being pretentious. He's like, I don't have any Galactic Legends. look at me, I'm in Kyber too.
His pilotless ships are farmed.
I mean, yeah, like clearly
Okay.
he cares about ships.
He does ships, is what this says.
What relic level is that Plo?
5. Not
Shit
high
or
enough.
Get off the pot, man. Get him to 8.
Man, I forgot we were on my channel.
I know, I can say the S word.
Okay, so like this is, you care about ships.
Yeah.
This doesn't make Xeris sad. The only ship not farmed is Comeuppance.
It makes me annoyed that they're trying to act all pretentious. I get Kyber too. What the? All right.
Do you want to look
You
at?
should make fun of my lack. Make fun of the thing that I'm proud of.
Do you want to look at the datacrons?
Sure.
I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's got investment. Of course he does.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So.
Look at you. You're edgy, man. 5 Galactic Legends. Only 5. Ooh, wow. That's amazing. You only have 5 Galactic Legends? You're crazy, man. How could you do that? What a terrible roster.
Do you want me to sort by speed?
Sure. Well, we'll jump through the hoops on this one.
We'll jump through the hoops.
Hey, you let me win. Oh, look at that! 6 Galactic Legends!
Hooray!
Oh, hey! I didn't see that coming. Wow.
There's a Ray with 2 Zetas.
Wow, you're so edgy. Only 6 Galactic like I made it into Kyber 1 really easily once I got to 5 Galactic Legends, and now 6. Now I'm a 7. Yeah, so congratulations on Kyber 2 though. All right, let's continue.
All right. Where do you think the 300 line is?
Hey, look, Bosca and Grief are the right order.
That's promising. Maybe.
I think they have good mods.
I do too, and I'm kind of scared.
I mean, the better mods a person has on this, the more we have the bigger margin of us just looking like total dumbasses.
Okay. I don't even know, man.
The 300 line. All right.
I feel like all these characters should be over 300.
Yeah, like Phasma maybe doesn't need quite that much. Pretty close though. Okay, I'm just gonna for the guy who is so edgy and crazy with only 6 Galactic Legends, I'm gonna pick Zam.
Okay, I was gonna say Rex.
Okay, I hope you're more correct. I hope this guy has total dog shit mods.
Let's
That's what I hope.
Let's look at Zam first then. 300. Who's cheating now? Who's cheating now? Let's just look at Sith
um,
Assassin here. 300.
I need to test me. I might be a genius.
What's IG 11? 299. Wow, that is a ton of characters.
No, I swear that when I said
What's Rex?
when I picked Zam, I swear you were gonna be like,
307.
yeah, I was pretty sure you were gonna say. I heard you say, like, I know. I
Oh,
figured you. And you just put the best face on it. That's the only way I had chance I have to win is if I just pick the right character first before you. It's okay though. Congratulations on.
what's 6 times 7?
I don't think that's knowable.
Whatever that is. 42. Because we're not counting GLs. That's 42 characters over.
I'm counting him. I mean,
You
he
want to
wants us
count?
to make fun of how few GLs he has.
I mean, that means it's 48.
Sure. I think GLs count,
All right,
frankly.
we can count GLs. That is a ton.
Yeah, good mods, man.
Man. Okay. That's not sort by speed anymore. What do you want to look at?
Nothing. Let's look at how many GLs he has. We can make fun of that number.
Pick a faction.
Let's see if he's doing the Gungan thing. What star does Boss Nass have?
Okay. 3. Interesting.
Okay, so
And he hasn't done carpal tunnel yet.
potentially Canadian.
So not getting the extra shards.
Not good on math. Yep, not the strongest at math.
Should we look at like, I don't know, separatists or something?
Sure. It's random, but okay.
Okay.
Oh hey, look at this. He's got a trench with an Omicron, and look at that relic 7 and some Zetas. Amazing.
Is that for me?
Right. I mean, we know this isn't your roster, but just by looking at his trench. So, Separatists were my first faction. I was like, oh, all of them are relic right now. It's crazy.
Okay, hang on. Let me see which Galactic Legends he's got, because I forget already. So, no Leia. That's interesting.
In a bad way.
And no Vader.
Mm-hmm.
So let me look at. I want to see the Leia requirements because I'm curious.
No Leia or her dad.
Okay, so you have Rex and Drogon farmed. You just don't care about them enough, I guess. Interesting. Saw is so no. Saw's Jedi Cal requirement, right?
Yeah. So
no
I
Jedi
mean,
Cal, and like not even caring about Jedi Cal, maybe.
I think the issue we're looking at here is he's abandoned his principles. He used to be crazy and care about not having GLs, but now all he does is farm GLs to the exclusion of all else. And now he's not even going to unlock a character that's, in theory, like in some ways, better than the Galactic Legends. That's not really true, but he's amazing.
Where's Marin? Okay, Marin's Relic 5. So maybe he's just. Who else do we need? Unaligned Force users?
Yep.
Okay. So we're probably not unlocking Jedi Cal next week. 2 weeks, whatever.
Dude, you're Malicos.
Oh.
Is that how many Omis is that? I can't quite
3. Damn.
Well, at least you don't have that many GLs though, so that's pretty cool, man. He's tough. Doesn't have GLs.
Man.
I'm embarrassed for you, dude. That's disgusting.
No Jedi Cal, no Malicos. Well, Malicos not geared. Who do you need for Lord Vader? Empire?
Bad Batch and various people he kills, like Newt and Padme,
Okay. Do you think his Echo's 370 speed?
give or take.
More take.
Yeah, and keep on taking. Yep.
Uh, um, okay. I feel like you could just go get them and you just don't want to. So, like, what are you doing? What are
He
we
doesn't.
working on?
Look, he doesn't care about GLs. He could care less. He's not working on them. He's only got 6 for Christ's sake.
And he's got Embo.
And Boner.
I feel
Yep.
like I don't know. I don't know. What else is there? Bo. That's Mandalorians, right? Do they all have the Mandalorian tag? Has.
Yeah.
I can't
Hmm.
remember. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Don't care about Bo either.
You know, once you have Maul and you realize that not to defend this guy or his disgusting lack, debilitating and harmful lack of GLs on this account. He only has 6. Um, Once you realize that you have to sometimes put Maul with Lord Vader or feel guilty for not doing it,
Mm-hmm.
the appeal for Lord Vader just kind of real, especially when you realize how many Kyrotech it costs to get there and
Mm-hmm.
relic levels. The desire for Lord Vader continues to diminish, unfortunately.
Because you don't want to put Maul there.
Yeah, because Maul, like, look, he's got his Garen ISC up and
Mm-hmm.
running. Like that team is way more fun than Lord Vader.
I mean, fair. I'm trying to figure out where are we going now? Because it doesn't look like we're going to Bo or Jedi Cal or Leia
Or
or
guns.
Lord Vader.
What about Remnant?
I think they're set.
Imperial Remnant?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
I don't
pretty
know.
good, man.
Like where are we going if we're not farming? Let me look at the bottom. Oh.
Okay, I'll get my exit picture.
Oh, look at Vandor. Man. And no Afra. So no
These droids are
Afra.
farmed.
We're not going after Afra. We're not going after Jedi Cal. We're not going after Bo or
Hey, look,
Leia.
Ben Solo.
Oh man.
I mean, why would you work on Ben Solo when you have so few galactic legends?
Nisa's not even done being farmed. I'm just trying to figure out what the plan is next.
I'm looking for GLs and I don't see any.
Like where do we go from here? Oh, poor L3 too. Man,
All the way to hell.
I
He
just
wonders why he can't get into Kyber 1.
like what's the next step?
He's like, hey, I don't want good Phoenix. I don't want good Ufus. Even though I could have them, they're farmed.
Man,
I don't want Afra. It's
no
okay,
Afra.
man. You
All
have the
right.
same GP as Professor X somehow.
Professor X 10.6 already?
Yeah, I'm at right there. Professor X is 7 GLs and he does have Afra and Jedi
And
Cal.
Jedi Cal.
So and Vandor, huh? Pretty much everything he doesn't. So
Vandor makes me sad.
I don't know. Somehow he found a way to put GP onto his mods or something.
Man. Well, do you have anything else? Because I just feel sad. I just don't know what the direction is. I
You
can't
know
even
how
guess.
you know how empty these make me feel.
I do.
This is no different.
Well,
Well, go work on your GLs. You need more.
Or Jedi
There.
cow.
No, he wanted us. He ordered us to roast him on how few GLs he had. Okay, we're just the customer is always right. If only he was a customer.
Okay, he does have Reva. I couldn't remember. Okay,
I
that's
I'm
all.
done with this. Stop, stop.
I've stopped.
I'm talking to him. Stop something. Goodbye.